is up, everybody? Welcome. Happy Tuesday. I see you, Beowulf. Let's go. Hype me up, man. Hype me up. Hey, I hope you guys are all having a great week. A great start. I mean, it is Tuesday. You know, I hope Monday was good. You know, the week's off to a great start. Hey, what better way? Come in here live and watch a broadcast of the Comfort and Chaos podcast live, brought to you raw, uncut, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. There's power and presence, and I appreciate you guys all being present this evening. And if you're joining new, hey, you know what? Thank you. And don't hesitate, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Just pound it nice and hard. You know, punch it. And join the team. Thank you guys so much. All right. And we're going to get into today's episode. Interesting topic. So should be some, we should all have some advice and something to chime in. So as you guys do know, as we go on, hey, by all means, I encourage the interaction. All right. I monitor the chats on both platforms, guys. I encourage it. We learn from each other. We gain knowledge from each other. We gain skill sets from each other. That's how a team functions. That's how a team grows. Let's get this show on the road. Let's do it, guys. What's up? Welcome to another episode of Comfort and Chaos, brought to you live, hosted by yours truly. That's right, me. So today, you know, it's just I'm rolling solo, team. I'm rolling solo. No guests tonight. But I got something in the works. Hopefully, we'll have another special guest host coming back on Thursday. You know, there was some interesting topics that we didn't really get to nail last time this guest was here, and I had some stuff that I really just wanted to kind of just put out there. So, hey, you know what? We'll go ahead and do that, you know. But thank you guys all for tuning in. Okay, so let's see. What do we got? We got recap time. Okay, recap. All right, guys. You know, PCCs, PCIs. We got our Zinnies. We got our comms line always open. You know, we also have our Comfort and Chaos tea right here, special edition. And oh, don't forget. That's right. I already have it kind of opened. Our discipline devotional team. You already know. We got to start off with that one. But no, I figured we spend a little time just kind of, you know, give a little recap to. I like to let you guys know as far as everything's going on, you know, and unfortunately, you know, I wasn't able to kind of broadcast an episode last Thursday. You know, had some stuff come up, and as you know, sometimes, guys, my day job. You know, I am an active duty senior leader in the military. So sometimes, you know, you got to, one of the big characteristics of a leader is prioritize. You know, you got to have that ability to prioritize. And sometimes, you know, you got to, when you do that, you got to cut from one and add to another, you know, and that was one of those instances. So I appreciate your guys' patience, you know, so I just wanted to make sure I address that first and foremost. Okay, so yeah, no, interesting. I'll tell you what, team, a very powerful word that, I'm pretty sure a lot of you, probably are aware of, or if you experience, but the word is rejuvenation. You know, just what does that word mean to you guys? You know, I think of rejuvenation as, me personally, I think of it as, kind of like that reset, you know. I realize just how important they are, you know. Me personally, you know, you guys got to understand, you know, I'm also just a human being, just like everybody else, you know. And that being said, you know, we as humans, always, everybody's going to have the same struggles, you know, same struggles, same challenges, same obstacles, you know, they just come in different shapes, different forms, different times, you know. But I am one of those, you know. And that's why today's topic is kind of very important to me, because I know it's something that I'm currently am working through, and executing on my own. But the past 2 days, I'm thinking like, man, I wonder who else is going through this. I wonder who else has some advice to share on this or some experience. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and bring this up on the next episode for Tuesday, and we're going to rock and roll from there. And hopefully I can get some engagement and learn from you guys. But yeah, rejuvenation, and emotional outlet is today's topic, because we're all going to go through them, and how we handle them is going to be different. Every time, every one of us processes it differently. But if there's one thing I have learned that is important, and whenever, let me tell you guys, whenever I tell you that I've learned something, it's usually from, in my case, it's usually from failure. Yeah, it's usually from getting knocked down, from failing, or experiencing a setback of some sort, and that's how I learn, and especially learning about myself. And I know that there's some of you out there who probably go through the same thing, who go through the same thing. But one thing I have learned is the outlet is what's important. What do you do? We're gonna experience that. We're gonna hit that tidal wave of emotion. We're gonna have that emotional tidal wave. We're gonna have that experience. We're gonna have some type of it can be anything in the workplace, relationships. You're gonna have that. You're gonna have something that triggers and hits you just really deep. Deep and emotionally. Now, what you do with that, though, how you react is what's more important, because the emotional wave is going to come. But now, what do we do after that wave comes? How are you going to engage it? How are you going to recover from it? Most importantly, how are you going to learn from that? And I'm currently, one of those who I go through that on the daily, guys. Let me tell you, I go through it on the daily. And I've learned that I have my outlets, and my outlets are important to me, as I'm sure you guys have an outlet, and if you don't have one, I would encourage you, start to find one, identify an outlet, because retaining it inside, it's not healthy. There's always an after effect, that could come at a later date, but in a later time, but you don't want to, why open that door when it doesn't need to be open. So I wanted to bring that up to you guys, and rejuvenation is a good application towards that, guys. I would definitely encourage you to find some type of rejuvenation hobby, rejuvenation point, what we would call, but whatever it is that just kind of makes you feel rejuvenated. This weekend, I actually did some household projects, and I took some time and ended up just, painting my cabinets. And believe it or not, that that really felt, the sense of accomplishment, all the time, all the work, you really apply yourself. And there is a sense of rejuvenation. It came to be very therapeutic, as some would say. And that was something that's something that I experienced. And it's one of those things that I hope that we all get to experience. And I didn't want to keep it to myself, so I was very like, hey, you know what? I wonder what everybody else's rejuvenation points are. Do you have one? And if you guys have one, please don't hesitate. Please type it up in the chat, comment down below if you're watching this video in a later time. But I would really love to hear and love to read what you guys do for some rejuvenation time, because it is important. It is important. Okay, so what do you guys say? We're going to go ahead and pop our little Zinni in. And we're going to go ahead and get it on with our discipline devotional. What do you guys say? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So this one. On our discipline devotional today, guys, is titled Not Feeling It. Not feeling it. That is definitely something that I'm pretty sure we all experience, we all engage. I cannot speak on how many times I'll have a long day, at work. Recently I'm going through this this training on this computer, and we have when we have distance and digital training, sometimes, like what I'm going through now, there's a training that just literally, it's on the computer, it's on a live stream, and it's live and you have to be present. You're sitting there at your desk and it's all day. And I'm like, it just drains you, So when I got home today and I'm like, hey, I need to work out though. I need to go through, I need to train. It's my therapy time, and I need to do that. But then another part of my mind's like, I'm just not feeling it. What would feel real nice? Maybe a nice little nap, kick the boots off, take the socks off, put the feet up, take a little nap, Hey, you're just not feeling it right now. And yeah, sometimes you got to beat that down. You got to beat that down. So that is my real world experience on the term not feeling it. So let's see what our discipline devotional has to say about that. Not feeling it. How do I handle those days when I'm just not feeling it? Those days when I'm tired or worn out or just sick of the grind. What do I do on those days? I go away. I go anyway. I get it done. Even if I'm just going through the motions, I go through the motions. Don't really want to work out, I work out. Don't really want to hammer on a project, I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed, I get up and I get out of bed. Now, those could be signals that you need some time off, and those signals might be right. But don't take today off. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights. Sprint the hill. Work on the project. Get out of bed. I don't like procrastination, but if you feel like you need a break, that is one thing you should procrastinate. Taking a break is not one thing I put off until tomorrow. And if, when tomorrow comes, you still feel like you need rest or you need a break, then go ahead, take it. Chances are you won't. You won't need that rest. Chances are you will realize that the desire to rest was just a weakness. It was the desire to take the path of least resistance, the downhill path, the downward path. And by going through the motions, you overcome that weakness. And you stayed on the righteous path, the discipline path. You stayed on the war path, right where you know you belong. Not feeling it, team. I know that's something we all do and we all go through, not feeling it sometimes. I myself included. And what's crazy is just in that read, there are times like today, I come home and I'm just not feeling it. I feel like my body just wants to take a nap, wants to rest, take it easy, But then I convinced myself, hey, I got to do it. I executed some discipline. I stayed focused on a goal. And I said, hey, I got to do it, And I know tomorrow, you know what? That idea might pop back in my head. But the crazy thing is I can tell myself, hey, I'll rest tomorrow. I won't, And realistically, a lot of us won't, it takes a lot to give into that not feeling it mode, but it is strong. So be careful. So stay on that warpath, team. As the devotional said, stay on that warpath, stay focused on that goal. What end state are you pursuing? Is it a fitness one? Is it a work goal? Is it a project you're working on? Stay focused, and that'll usually help continue that drive. When one side is kind of lacking on strength, the other side is ready to just give in and carry it. And sometimes you got to do it, So that was our devotional today. What do you guys say? Okay. So emotional outlets, team. Yeah, this is so I'll tell you straight up from a leadership standpoint, from a professional standpoint in my profession, in my opinion, reacting off emotions is never healthy. It's never well in doubt, and it usually 90% of the time doesn't have the desired effect, that we're going after. Now, does it mean the emotions are null and void? No, it doesn't. Sometimes you need that emotion, and take it from me, somebody who is, I'll tell you what, for the longest time now, man, I used to bottle them up, and that is not healthy. I always had the fear of just, no one will ever understand, and that's not healthy. I used to always keep it to myself and, and realize, hey, I'm going to process it my way. I'm going to get through this my way. And that only can go, I'll tell you what, team, that can only carry you so far. So whenever I tell you guys, know your circle, identify a circle and know your circle, and that is who you want to rely on, and do not, if your outlet is communicating with someone else, that's an outlet. Hey, that is a valid outlet. And then that is something that you can do, because retaining those emotions inside and just swallowing them up, let me tell you from experience, guys, it's not healthy, and the result is never something the desired end state is never what you pan it out to be. And I would hate for you guys to have to go through that. So take it from me, learn from my mistakes, and let's drive forward, Now, when it comes to identifying an emotional outlet, from my standpoint, because they are important, we're not going to ignore that, it's got to be something, believe it or not, and something I've learned, it's got to be something that's not comfortable, It really is the title of this podcast, Comfort and Chaos, because it is chaotic, team. I'll be honest with you. It is very chaotic to learn to share, to share and open up, emotions that you keep inside, and it's not easy. It's not easy, but I promise you, whenever you find that outlet, keep it in your toolbox, keep it there, keep it active and keep it going, keep it alive, because it is important, So for me, I'll tell you, one of my outlets obviously is training. I will literally beat my body up, I will beat my body up. Excuse me. Let me take a sip. So I will literally beat my body up. And in that, I know that I'm tuning my mind, I'm fighting through a mental challenge, and I'll put on some good music. Usually for me, it's music that just kind of makes you think, and at the same time you're accomplishing a task. I'll write my workouts, or whatever my training plan for that day is. I'll write it on this board, or I'll write it in my notebook, and I'll put it right there on the floor or wherever I'm training, because I know that is my that is my focus. That is my task, Now, as I engage that task, I'm going to start processing my mind and thinking, and learning, self-evaluating, you know, and I cannot beat it enough, team, that how important that is, because in the past month or so, past 2 months, just alone, I've, by doing that, I've learned so much, and when you do that, you learn different courses of action to take. We call them a COA. You learn a new COA, because that tidal wave is going to come back. That wave will eventually present itself. But you know what? This time, I know how to engage it. I know what to do. I know what I learned. I know what I went through. And those are factors that you wanna put in your mind and keep them there as muscle memory. We call them battle drills. You want to keep that battle drill. A battle drill is a reacting on an engagement that is a muscle memory reaction. You don't think, you don't hesitate. You know how to react. So my emotional outlet has trained me now, and it's continue. It's never going to be perfect. It's going to take constant work. It's one of those things that if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So you want to always keep it going, and so that's just one of them. Of course, there's multiple outlets, guys, out there. I recently have been taking part in some actual professional help as well, and that's never wrong. Sometimes there's only so much you can process for so long before that cup starts to tip over. So that is something to keep in mind, team, and it's not a sign of weakness to reach out. And that's something I have also learned. It actually takes more strength. It actually shows more strength in you to be somebody to reach out, and share and trust in that understanding from others, because we can all learn from each other, So the main takeaway here is, the crazy thing is we live in a time where everything is based off emotion. If you notice that, I was listening to, a big takeaway was I was listening to I was listening to Donald Trump. He was actually speaking at a rally, and he said the words, and I, regardless of what your guys' political views are, I don't judge here, but no, he did say something that did stand out to me. Now, mind you, everyone does it. They all do it, dude. All those leaders at the top, they all do it. It's just the time that we live in now. But he used the word bloodbath. I don't know if you guys caught that. And the media is jumping all over this right now, But he said, if I'm not elected, I don't know. I don't know the exact words, but in summary, he said, if I'm not elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. This country's going to be a bloodbath. Now, obviously the media is jumping all over that. But you know why? Because that's an emotional word. That is a word that hits you. That's what we call a bumper sticker. I think professionally as a leader, I've spoken, I've given speeches, I've spoken in front of formations and provided guidance, and so forth, And one thing we are taught, or a good leader doesn't trigger emotion, because if I'm triggering emotion, that means I'm reacting off emotion. I'm hitting that trigger point. When my job as a leader, I'm trying to motivate, provide purpose and direction and motivation without using an emotional application, because then I'm showing where I'm coming from. I think personally, I don't know who wrote that speech for him. I think they could have probably used some other words, some professional, strong, leading words of leadership. But I know why they did that though. They did it because we live in a society that is triggered off emotion. You know, there's not too many people out there who have emotional outlets, and right now their outlets are can be sometimes of an unhealthy nature, and that's something we have to be aware of. You know, you don't want your outlet to be something that is, you know, hurting yourself or hurting others, you know, or causing harm or suffering, you know, because that alone is not healthy, you know. But it's sad because I feel like we live in a time where people are indulging in the suffering of others. It's almost like natural for somebody to hate on somebody, you know. It's like we want them to fail, you know. You want them to suffer because for some reason we find some kind of relation to that, you know. And to me that's just not healthy, guys, and it doesn't produce a good result. It doesn't produce a good result. You know, we got to be strong. You know, we got to be strong-willed. We got to be strong mentally, you know. And for you who have, if you're a father or a mother, you know, you guys got to do that to be the example, you know, because generationally, I feel like it's just getting weaker and weaker, you know. It's almost like to the point where it's like, dude, I almost feel like it's just a lost cause, you know, but it's not. It's not, you know. One of my favorite lines in the, if you guys have seen the movie Saving Private Ryan, you know, there's a line in that movie when they're at a standoff in one of the villages, and they shoot one of the messengers, one of the runners, you know, because in those times they didn't have good radio communications, so they had runners. You know, they had these soldiers who were selected to be runners. They got a message, they carried the message, and they went and they would run to another unit or another section or through a village or whatever, and they would run on foot. You know, they would get there to carry the message. Now, there's a scene in the movie where they actually, the Germans take out one of the runners. You know, they engage him, and they shoot him, and he's down. And so everyone's all standoff right now, you know, and then they see him laying there, you know, and then the Germans shoot him with another burst of a machine gun fire, just do, you know, and they shoot him again. And obviously that's a violation, you know, of the Geneva Convention and the laws of war. But in war, I'll tell you, there's really no laws of war, you know. But at that time, they did that. And our leaders, you know, the American forces, the American commanders knew why they did that. Because as long as he has breath in his lungs, he still carries the message. That was what the line said. You know, Tom Hanks, actually, I think is the one who said that line. As long as his lungs have breath in them, he still carries the message. So the enemy has to make sure that the message is eliminated. So, as long as you guys have breath, you still have a fight in you, you know. You still have a fight in you, you know, to say the right things, do the right things, you know, be mentally strong-willed, you know, don't fall for that tidal wave of emotional reaction that's being broadcasted and triggered, sent to you to be triggered, you know, because it is too easy to be triggered nowadays. Too easy. Trust me. I can't even, like, every time I open up my social media, I find something, you know, that just sets you off. But that's why it's important, guys, to have an outlet, you know, because you're going to soak in all that chaos throughout the day of just different emotions, different thoughts, different situations you're going to go through, past situations are going to come back, but you have to find that outlet, because if you don't, those demons are going to take over, and you don't want those demons to take over. Find comfort in your chaos. I mean, that's what the title stands for. We find comfort in our chaos, because when you find comfort in your chaos, you're dangerous. The enemy will always fear you. You're going to be number one on their list, and every single one of you has that ability. And I hope you guys are all doing it, and that's why we come together like this, so it's very important, guys. So identify that outlet, utilize that outlet, refine that outlet, and brace yourself for the tidal wave of emotion that's going to come your way again, because it's going to come. It will come. But it's not something you guys can handle as long as you know what to do. That's all that matters. Make it a battle drill, muscle memory reaction, and you guys will be good. I can guarantee it. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Hey, I see that. Hey, Grizzly, I appreciate you tuning in, man. Yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
As long as, that's right. Give me that hell yeah.
What?
Yeah, as long as you have a hand in that fight, that's right. As long as you guys have a hand, you're still in the fight. You have breath in your lungs, you're still in it, man. Beowulf comes in and says, hey, man, people get mad at me of my lack of reaction and emotion showing, which is ironic because they start to let the emotions over them and lash out, overcome them. Yeah, dude. That is something right there. I'll tell you what, man. It's showing your emotion, okay, and being reactive to that emotion. That's not a sign of weakness. That's actually a sign of strength, man. Now processing that emotion obviously is a whole different thing. You can process that emotion, and how you process it. If they don't like it, then hey, that's on them. But what end state you're pursuing. What goal you're going after. What type of person you want to be or who you are. So you're not gonna give in, and people are gonna try. And I said, we live in a society now where there are a lot of weak minds. I will tell you, there's a lot of weak minds who don't know how to process, don't have outlets. So they go for triggers, they go for that. Hey, I want to see you show emotion. I want to see you this. I want to see you get triggered. I want to see you suffer, and no, that's the wrong answer. Be stronger than that, because there's going to be a time, and it'll come. It's going to be a time, and it's going to come, guys. We're in for this country's going to be, we're in for it this year. This is going to be a really challenging year, but nothing too impossible for us to handle. That's the one thing we got to understand. And there's going to be a time where they're going to rely on the strong, the firm-footed, the strong-willed to carry us through, carry people through, carry your families through, carry your circles through. And that's what you got to focus on. That's what you got to focus on. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, by the way. So yeah, guys, it is one of those things, man. And I'm very, I wanted to make sure I just devoted an episode for that, because it is important to me. And I know if it's important to me, it's important to some of you out there. Definitely. It's not something we should just put off to the wayside, So identify those outlets, guys. And like I said, it can be anything. Your outlets could be anything. It can be journaling. It could be therapy with a professional. It can be fitness. You can go out there and do some push-ups and let that be your therapy. It could be your faith. It can be faith, guys. Faith is a big thing too. And it's a big thing for me too as well. And we'll tie more into that hopefully in the next episode. I got a really interesting topic with a special guest I want to bring in. And hopefully we can, make some more leeway into that realm. But yeah, man, finding that outlet, dude, it's very important. It's very important, man. Sipping on the 767 for your dog. Okay. I appreciate that. And cheers, team. I appreciate y'all. Mm-hmm. No, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you guys for being present. And hey, don't hesitate to comment down below, guys. If you're watching this video later on, a later date, please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the, what are your outlets? What do you guys utilize? What's a good outlet that you guys utilize when it comes to processing emotion? What's a good emotional outlet you guys have? I would love to hear it. Okay, so yeah, next topic. The one thing I really want to do, and we'll close out with this, team, is so a lot of people have been asking me about TikTok. A lot of people have been asking me. Now, personally, I don't have a TikTok, and I have my reasons why. Now, everyone who has one, hey, I don't judge you for it. You know what you're doing. It's broadcasted out there constantly, about what TikTok is and who owns it and all this stuff, But so there's a lot of individuals talking to me about, hey, what are your thoughts about this? It's about to be banned, Congress passing a bill, all this stuff. Okay, so hey, I see that. Yeah, getting on Discord and playing with the boys, hey, that's a good outlet too. That is very right. Gaming is another good outlet. Those of you who saw me last night, did an exclusive stream just with Helldivers. We had a good time, and it was really good. So I am going to be beefing that up again, on the Twitch side of the house. So I look forward to interacting with a lot of you guys on the Twitch side. But so TikTok, yeah, it's just one of those things. So now when it comes to people ask me, hey, what are your thoughts? Do you support that or anything? And I'd say, well, I don't really support TikTok as a whole. But I will say this, there's always a cause and effect, and we've learned this in the past, especially during like COVID, whenever you give the government an inch, they're going to take a foot. You give them a foot, they're going to take a mile. So if you think of it this way, they're going to, if you're allowing them to just draft a bill to ban this, what else later on would they draft a bill to ban? You're setting the door. Just understand that you're setting the table right now. So you got to think long-term wise, you got to think, what's the play here? What's the play? There's always more to it. And, that's the one thing that I do. I'm more, I think the government takes way too much of us, takes too much of our time. They have too much of a hand already. So it's like, hey, why give them even more? You know what? If someone wants TikTok, let them have TikTok. That is my thought. That's on them. It's on them. As long as everyone's educated, I would say, educate them, create the awareness, but it's on them. Because if you regulate this, what's going to stop you from regulating this? And then this, and then this, once you don't like it, So, I mean, that's just my story. Now, with me personally, would I have TikTok? No, I'm not going to open that door. It obviously we know it is a foreign owned and operated platform, that is foreign controlled. It has a foreign influence. And in my line of work, that's something that we stay away from, And I would encourage you guys too, hey, let your influence be your influence. Don't let someone else come out and influence you guys, Let your influence be yours, and yours, be authentic, be unique. If your upbringing, if your parents influence you in this, hey, let that be your influence. Then you influence your kids, in your circles. But you don't need someone who doesn't even live here with you influence and manipulate and control. You don't need that. So I would say, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, guys, I'm not speaking to anybody else, but in my opinion, it's like, okay, once you open this door, though, be ready. Be ready, because you're setting the table for future actions, where now all they got to do is copy and paste. Yeah, that is that is my thoughts on that team. So it's one of those things, though, guys, where I think as long as you maintain a good situational awareness, know your left and right limits, and know what you can control. And if what you control can control is right here on this, then by all means, control it. Control it. That is my thoughts on that. And I'm just putting it out there now to the masses so they can all see it themselves. But I am curious, though, what do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on the whole situation? By all means, type it up in the chat if you're watching live. If you're not, please comment down below. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. Yeah, because it is a reality that we're living in now. It's not going away. And I mean, to me, I love this country. It's still one of the best countries. I've been to multiple countries around the world, and let me tell you, we got it made here, regardless of how crazy you think, or regardless of the craziness going on. We still have it made, and I've swore to uphold and defend that right, and I will always do it. The freedom and the American way of life. That's what we call it. So, yeah, that's how we're going to rock and roll here. Find comfort in our chaos. Let's go. So, guys, type it down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts and concerns. I'm here for you. I'm going to open up the chat lines right now as we get ready to wrap up. I apologize, guys. It is a shorter of an episode. As you know, I'm doing some current training, and it requires early morning. And got another one tomorrow. But yes, and I'm looking forward. Hey, if any of you guys, if you don't have the Twitch access yet, by all means be ready, because it's about to pop off on there. I'm looking forward to it. Telling scary stories with Vato is my outlet. Ooh. That's good to know, man. Hey, also drinking a good meech on the river is my therapy. Hey, there you go, man. Taking a little isolation time to yourself. That's always good. It's always good. That's something I've been doing a lot of lately, is taking a lot of time by myself, man. So it is one of those things. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And yeah, hey, Beowulf types, you do not have TikTok. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, control what you can control. There you go. Nothing wrong with that as well. Yeah, guys. So, but yeah, no, that is something that I definitely want to share with you guys. I agree with that, man. Let's see here. I agree with that. People tend to blame others for their actions or reactions also. But in the end of the day, you are in full control. But for TikTok, it goes back to the original golden rule. I don't care what y'all do with your life as long as you aren't interfering or harming others. Oh, man. You could not have said it better. You could not have said it better. Let's go. Thank you. You deserve a round of applause for that, man. That is so very true. I don't, and that is what the American way of life is. Hey, do what you want. As long as you're not hurting others and you're not interfering with my life or my family, by all means. You want to eat Tide Pods? Okay, go eat a Tide Pod. But don't tell my son that it's healthy to eat a Tide Pod, because I'm going to tell you right now, you're crazy. But you can go do that to your circle, not mine. Not mine. So, yeah. We'll leave it at that. That's for sure. Oh, man, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys so much, man. Thank you all for tuning in. This was another great episode. As you know, sometimes, these solo episodes are usually just me kind of opening up to you guys, sharing some thoughts, sharing some things that are on my mind that I know that you guys can benefit from, and bringing up certain topics that I know we all can benefit from. And obviously your guys' input definitely is a huge factor, which I encourage it. And I thank you, those of you who came in and shared tonight. Okay, so going forward, guys, we got a big announcement. So next episode, Lord willing, I'm going to have a special guest here on Thursday, and hopefully we're gonna engage in some certain topics that I really wanted to engage in the past, but I wanted to bring them up, and I want to share them and let you guys kind of hear them for yourself. But there is yeah, I feel like, no, I don't want to give it away. Should I give it away? No, I shouldn't. Jamie, should I give it away? Nah, okay. Jamie said no. So we're not going to pull it up. We're not going to pull it up. But, yeah, guys, hey, in the meantime, team, I would encourage you guys all, one time for the one time till the one time is the last time. Woo. It's been a while since I heard that, man. It's been a while since I heard that, but I'm glad I finally got it in the chat right now. So very true. So in the meantime, guys, we'll do a quick little recap, check no learning here. So emotional outlets, team. Find your emotional outlet, identify it, execute it, refine it, and brace yourself for the next wave or the next challenge, because they're going to come, And in regards to the next, the TikTok thing, hey, you know what, team? There's one takeaway to get. Hey, control what you guys can control and only worry about that. Okay? And then also understand, every action leads to a reaction, and that's where you really want to question, what is that next reaction? What is the long-term play here? What is the long-term game that can be played? Because that's what we should really shift our focus on. Most people don't really count on you. They want you to look over here. It's like a magician, look right here, look right here. Don't pay attention what's going on over here, having the CSM, that's right, dude. You know it. Jamie, did you put it out already? Jeez. I'm going to have to fire Jamie again and then rehire him again. No, dude, it's not the CSM of the Army, unfortunately. He's pretty busy. Hopefully we'll get him here, though, soon. Hopefully we'll get him here soon, just for you. Just for you. But yeah. No, so guys, pay attention. I hope you guys had a good takeaway. I hope this was a valid episode for you guys. I hope you guys learned something. If you guys like what I'm putting out, or you like these little comforting chaos chit chats, in these live broadcasts, I would encourage you guys continue. I definitely love the support, especially on the YouTube side. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and join the team. And then we'll continue to grow together and learn from each other. I'm a big advocate for that. And in the meantime, team, I will then see you guys on Thursday. We're going to have a good episode. Hopefully we get the special guest. Hopefully everything works out as planned, Lord willing. And then we'll engage in nice, interesting topics, good things to share with you guys. And hopefully we can all learn from each other, All right, guys. So you already know, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap things up here. Don't forget, guys, do your push-ups, take your vitamins, drink your water, and most importantly, team, continue mission, the mission of life, all right? That mission of life is going to continue to go. That's going to continue to pound us, but it's nothing we can't handle. Remember that. All right, team, focus on being a better version of ourselves every day in every way, all right? And do not hesitate to pursue a new opportunity and to create a new memory, guys. I care about every single one of you, all right? And you guys are all the team. So thank you, guys. Thank you for being present tonight. And I'll see you on the next episode. Out.